It's the next big thing in home building. This machine can build a house in 24 hours, but it doesn't do windows. It's all straight ahead on tonight's Life and Time.
The television show Extreme Makeover Home Edition promises a house in 7 days. But what about 24 hours? We spoke with Professor Baruch Koshnevis of the University of Southern California, who says a house a day may not be that far in the future.
We envision a system that can automatically build a full-scale house in about 24 hours with all the electrical, plumbing embedded, and even painted with wallpaper design using inkjet printer technology.
When you hear about the claims of building a house in 24 hours, that just sounds amazing. Where did the idea come from?
Well, it was a sequence of events that led to this idea. After the 1994 Northridge earthquake, like many houses, our house also got a crack on its wall, and so I decided to get some plaster and a putty knife and fill the big cracks that looked pretty bad. And as I was doing that, it occurred to me that this simple tool, the trowel, has an excellent surface forming capability.
From that do-it-yourself fix came this idea called contour crafting. With the help of USC's Information Sciences Institute, Koshnevis has designed a device that he says will revolutionize construction.
This is a small-scale contour crafting machine that can make parts made with ceramic material.
The concept is similar to squeezing toothpaste out of a tube. The softened cement goes into the cylinder, which then releases it into whatever shape has been programmed into the computer. It continues placing layer upon layer until a wall is built.
Pieces in here are made out of concrete. This side is the smoother part. This side is the inner section of the wall. So the machine will lay two sections made out of concrete, and then it fills the middle with more runny, less viscous kind of concrete.
And the wall will be about the same thickness as a regular wall is
Pretty
today.
much so.
Koshnevis says the technology can be applied to residential construction, building homes in a day for 1/5 of the current cost. And it can do more than just walls. The entire electrical and plumbing systems are also put in by the machine.
But the system does tiling, automatic tiling, flooring. It can do, for example, kitchen counter. It can build cabinets.
One of the things it can't do are windows and doors. Why?
We do window and door frames, but for certain things that are standard factory-produced items, it really does not make sense to try to automate their fabrication. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes to hang a window or a door once you have a very accurate frame. And this process, being really computer-driven, is very accurate.
But the process of finding the right material and its perfect consistency hasn't been easy. So what are some of the materials that you've been using? Because you have these different molds, and some have worked and some haven't.
Right. Well, we've been trying different materials ranging from polymers, thermoplastics, thermosets, masonry materials. Yes, as you notice, the parts that we have tried on that side really haven't performed very well. But the parts that we have built here on this side demonstrate a great performance.
So you mentioned this is the tallest forms that you have built so far?
That is true. The lower wall that we built has not been filled in order to demonstrate the structural integrity of the shell. The bigger one has been filled with structural concrete. We have tested that sort of wall under hydraulic presses and checked the performance against the performance of conventionally built concrete walls, and the performance of contour crafted wall is pretty much similar.
One of the things that's of great interest in Southern California is, are these structures, or will they be, earthquake safe?
Well, contour crafting is a fabrication process. It pretty much produces whatever has been designed. And if the design specifies a thicker wall, if it specifies a lot of reinforcement elements inside the walls, countercrafting just implements what has been designed. Therefore, it could build structurally very sound buildings.
Koshnevis says the machine would be most beneficial for quick reconstruction after a natural disaster such as an earthquake. So far, the U.S. Army and NASA are some of the organizations that have expressed interest in the technology.
Are you surprised at all of the attention that you've been receiving? Because there's been multiple publications that have talked about your new invention.
I was kind of surprised, but to me now it comes pretty naturally because homes are typically the biggest investment of every family. So people relate to this technology and to the promise that it has. Everybody, at least in the last 3 or 4 decades, has truly understood the potential of computers, what they can do. And now they see that computers for the first time are entering a new domain which is near and dear to their hearts, their homes.
Should construction workers be worried that they're going to be out of a job?
Well, I think there will be a transition. This thing is not going to happen overnight. I'm hoping that we'll start with emergency and low-income housing and gradually move into other applications. Typically when there is a technology that has breakthrough impact, it typically has also impact on the structure of the economy.
I'm sure there's a lot of skeptics. What do you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that time will show that this technology will be the winner. There's no question in my mind that it's going to happen.
Fascinating technology. Thank you very much, Dr. Koshnevis, for sharing.
Thank you, Hannah.